intro. Here we go, Borba.
Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. Let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the buzz, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only, John Borba.
Yo.
Maybe not gonna lie. When I was clipping the show yesterday, my boy, you look fresh in that beanie season. You like beanies?
I got a couple beanies. Sometimes I like to wear them.
Not gonna lie, I like the look, my brother. You were looking fresh yesterday. As I was clipping, I was just like, "Damn, Johnny's beanie game has been pretty lit these last couple of days."
Yep.
Nice, hell yeah. Well, good morning to you all. I appreciate you guys rocking with us from Roswell, New Mexico. It's January 14th, 6:32. There's a couple things that happened yesterday, a couple things that we'll cover, and most importantly, we will start breaking down a couple of these divisional games that are happening, like the. JB, maybe these people don't know what games are going on, but I'm assuming they do because they watch the NFL. But let's just to remind them, the Buffalo Bills will be hosting, or the Denver Broncos will be hosting the Buffalo Bills Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Denver opening up as the favorites at -1.5 as of now. San Francisco will be heading to Seattle. That game will be kicked off at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday as well. Seattle right now opens up as the favorites at -7.5 points. On Sunday, we'll be blessed with the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. That game will kick off at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, with New England being the favorites at -3. And then to end the night for us with the 4:30 p.m. kickoff time, the Los Angeles Rams will head over to Chi-Town, Chicago, to play the Bears. And right now, it looks like the Rams are opening up as the favorites at -3.5 points. Dang, what a slate of games this weekend, JB. I'm pumped. How pumped are you about this weekend, bro?
It's gonna be a good weekend. I can only get so excited if your team's not in it. It's always been that way.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a bummer somewhat.
Yeah.
But it just as a football fan in general, I'm pumped, man. This is some good stuff. These are going to be some pretty close games, and really, nobody's pulled themselves away as just saying, "Hey, I'm the most dominant team in the league." But the Rams will be able to solidify that for me. That the Rams still are the favorites. That was one takeaway that I had from the wild card weekend. But a couple things to report. Yesterday, Mike Tomlin wasn't fired. He stepped away. I like the way that was handled by the Pittsburgh Steelers, basically allowing Mike Tomlin to choose how he wanted his story to be written, and his story being written with him stepping away rather than him being fired. I love it. I like it. With him stepping away, that does mean that the Pittsburgh Steelers still have his rights. So if anybody wanted to hire Mike Tomlin, they would have to offer some type of draft compensation to get him. So it looks like Mike Tomlin is either heading to TV or maybe Cabo, or maybe even in the studio somewhere for one of these games, calling the games as a color commentator. What did you think about that firing yesterday from Mike Tomlin? Or not firing, but my bad. What did you think about Mike Tomlin stepping down as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach?
I think it was about time. New change of scenery. I understand why it was done. Now the next route for Tomlin, I would expect him to kind of go the Sean Payton route. Go through TV a little bit, take a year off, find a good situation for him, and I think I don't know if something really fits him right now as a coach. So I would just take a year off, a year or two off. I mean, you're 53 years old. You're still, pretty young. So take a couple years off, a year or two off, see what opens up. Not only the rest of this year, but possibly, see what opens up at the end of next year too. So For Tomlin, I think you got to go somewhere where they have a quarterback, they have a bright future. You can't go somewhere where there's not a quarterback, because we've seen what has happened to an organization without a quarterback. After Roethlisberger retired, this team was stuck in purgatory for the last 5 years. You sign guys at the end of their career, trying to make a run, and it just hasn't worked out. So I think you got to go somewhere with a young, promising quarterback and try to build off that. I think that would be the number one success. So I mean, you could always look at Baltimore. You can always look at
crazy.
New York, the
Could you
Giants.
imagine it?
I don't think you go to a team like the Raiders, because although Fernando Mendoza looks like he's the number one overall pick, I don't know how high his ceiling is. Like, that's some things that there's a lot of criticism about, what Fernando Mendoza is going to do as a professional. Like, he could have a low ceiling. So I think he's just got to go to a spot with a legitimate, promising quarterback, maybe a year or two in, and it didn't work out with the head coach. If a spot opens up that works out, perfect.
Kind of rolling. I don't even know that we should even be thinking about a head coaching job for him right now. Let's enjoy TV. Let's enjoy this man's voice and what he's been able to provide to our eyes as we've watched all these years. It was, like you said, it was time. It was time. We've felt it from Steeler fans, the Steeler fans that we know, that we interact with, that felt like they were ready for some type of change. It was a sad way for them to go out. Aaron Rodgers was also asked about his future, and right now he said he didn't want to make an emotional decision, but he did come into the year only seeking 1 year left out of his body. And we kind of seen that. For me, Aaron Rodgers, where should you go? I don't know. Maybe somewhere, if you do choose to stay in the league, it feels like somewhere like an Atlanta Falcons team could be very fitting, especially with them thinking about moving on uh, from our boy Kirk Cousins, and then obviously with Penix still with his injury, who knows when he'll be back. So I wouldn't mind Aaron Rodgers if he stayed one more year, him going somewhere like Atlanta with an established team that's really just looking for some type of decent quarterback play. Aaron Rodgers this year still did protect the ball, even with the type of O line that he had, or with the type of pressure that was being put on him, as we saw this previous weekend. I mean, I wouldn't even say he was running for his life, because he couldn't even run, so he was just getting smacked back there. But I would like, if he decides to stay, which I would I want him to retire. This was kind of sad watching him go the way he did. It's almost like a UFC fighter just staying in the game just a little bit too long, and then we start seeing them get knocked out over and over. I would prefer to see Aaron Rodgers walk out on his own 2 feet, as he did this previous weekend. So kudos to Aaron Rodgers, man. I hope he doesn't retire, but at the same time, I really hope he does. What about you? You think Aaron Rodgers heading to retirement, heading to Cancun?
I think he's gonna disappear for a while, go on his freaking dark retreats, whatever they're, and I don't expect a
Weirdo, huh?
decision until about July or early August. I don't expect a decision till then, and I think
Which at that point, nobody's gonna care this time.
no, I mean, no one. I mean,
Nobody. I don't think
I don't
anybody's
think no
gonna
one
care.
cared last year. I mean, the Steelers
Pittsburgh,
left the spot
they
open.
were holding on.
The Steelers left a spot open for him, so they wanted him to come in. I think I think the main spot that he wants to go to, and this is just speculation, but I think it would be the Vikings. Not even joking. Um,
That's another fitting.
I
That's
think
another fitting spot, though.
it's a spot where there's good, like, whoever comes in right there, it would be an immediate QB competition. It doesn't mean that Aaron Rodgers would absolutely just be locked in as a starter as soon as he gets there, but it could happen. So that's a spot that makes the most logical sense, honestly, from what the Vikings have always done ever since I can remember. And
Well,
after that press conference yesterday, there's no lock. There's no lock on who's going to be the quarterback. And I like what I like what our general manager Quessy said. We want to win. We want to be in positions to win. So just let that play out real quick.
let's listen into exactly what y'all's GM had to say yesterday about the starting job with JJ McCarthy.
You want JJ to be the starter in 2026?
I don't know that that's I want the Vikings to achieve our goals. And I think one of those goals is to make playoff runs and do different things like that. I think he's the character and ability to be the person to do that for our organization. If I say that in 2026, that kind of binds us into a certain, area. The way we've set this team up, we built this core to really, like we've always talked about, give ourselves multiple shots at it, because you never know when there's going to be a year where the field's a little bit wide open and you can make that run, and so that's what we're really focused on. Talking about whether it's this year or next year isn't really, my immediate reflection. It's my job to really bring that deep competitive room that we've talked about to the Vikings.
Bringing that competitiveness to the Vikings. I apologize for my laggy internet there. That was unfortunate, but the message was given. The Vikings.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
pretty clear.
So, and well, for those of us that maybe didn't necessarily get the message, what would you say? If it's so clear, tell us how clear it is.
He did. As soon as you say, "Oh, JJ McCarthy is a 2026, 2027 starter," that puts you, as he said, it puts you in a bind. That means that, okay, we're absolutely, like, we pretty much handed this guy the job last year with no previous track record, nothing like that. We just handed him the job. Okay, he had a year while he was hurt to learn, but you're hurt though. You're missing those reps. It's all mental reps, and mental reps can only get you so far. So from what we've seen last year, it wasn't enough. This past year, it was not enough to solidify JJ McCarthy as a starter. So, and Kwesi, he's aggressive when he makes moves. We have a great roster. We really do. And we're right there. And we're very aggressive and still trying to keep Brian Flores. So we want to win, and we got to bring in competition to the QB room. And that's exactly what he said. So I expect there to be a big sign. I don't know if they're going to go all in with a big quarterback name, or if they bring somebody like maybe an Aaron Rodgers, like maybe a Jacoby Brissett, like a Mac Jones, that can create competition that's going to make this team overall better. It's going to make them better. So I like the message, and I like what the direction that we're going to go in. So it just depends who we pick up. I mean, we're just missing a quarterback. With 3 different quarterbacks, we win 9 games. I think that says a lot in itself. So, and a rookie quarterback starting like 6 of them. So
yeah, what sucks is Aaron Rodgers was up for grabs there at the beginning of the season also. So for the Vikings to not pursue that, it does make you question a couple things, a couple decisions that were made in the offseason by the Minnesota Vikings. But it sounds like Borba is excited about the future. Good morning to Santiago, who is also excited about the future for his Las Vegas Raiders. There's a lot of talk about the first-round pick being Fernando Mendoza. So as a Raiders fan, I think ultimately you just think, hey, I got a national championship to watch this Monday. So shout out to them boys and being able to watch their first-round pick on a national championship stage. That'll be exciting. Another thing that happened yesterday is Kevin Patulea, the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, was released from his duties. He is now fired as the offensive coordinator from the Philadelphia Eagles. What was your initial reaction to that? As we expected, right? We were just waiting for that news to kind of come down. What's your reaction to it?
Expected, and someone's got to take the downfall for that offense. And I think not only do you move on from Kevin Patullo, but you could also be moving on from AJ Brown. It depends how those conversations go this offseason. And I don't know. I think Jalen Hurts is limited as a passer, and I've never been one of those guys to just throw Jalen Hurts in the top 10. I think he's a big game quarterback. He's gotten it done in the big games, but I don't think when it comes to playing the quarterback position, he's as skilled as 10, 12, even 15 other guys in the league. And so since college, I believe, Jalen Hurts has had good offensive-minded coaches, and his stats were better this year than last year.
Yeah.
What carried that team last year was Saquon in the running game, and a little bit more creativity out of the running game. This year, it's like LaShawn McCoy said it perfectly. I mean, he's He's got ties to that organization, so he knows. Not all of it is on Kevin Patullo, but he is the play caller, and he was calling awful plays. Like some of his plays, like you just watch the game, and
You
it's
know,
just
you know what's crazy, JB, as you say that, I did watch what LaShawn McCoy had to say, and I'll play it for you guys here in just a second. But one thing that he did point out was maybe Kevin Patullo wasn't fully the job. Maybe Kevin Patullo couldn't really open up the book because there was one specific person that maybe doesn't have the traits to allow a book like that to be open. LaShawn McCoy did point out, he's not going to point it out in this clip, but he pointed out on his show that he said, if you notice, there was a difference with Kellen Moore. Jalen Hurts didn't necessarily adjust to Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore adjusted to the personnel there in Philadelphia. And honestly, whenever he said that, I thought back and I'm just like, he's right though, because with Dallas, Kellen Moore he was a gunslinger. He wanted Dak to sling that thing because Dak was very capable of doing it. So sometimes Kellen Moore would get away from the run because he fell in love with Dak's arm. And then we look at the way he called Philadelphia, and it was like he was forced to call the run because that was what they were great at. And he didn't have the capabilities from Jalen Hurts to be able to extend the field as expected. But let's hear it from his own words. Here's LaShawn McCoy on his reaction to them losing.
Jalen Hurts, I gotta be honest, man. Like, Jalen Hurts.
Damn this internet, bro. Come on.
I need you to be special. Make plays. You know, and then like I did a lot of digging, man. And I won't throw them under the bus here, but I know some people, right? And the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions. Because I'm hearing that he can't really do it. Jalen Hurts, I gotta be honest, man. Like, Jalen Hurts, I need you to be special. Make plays. You know, and then like I did a lot of digging, man. And I won't throw them under the bus here, but I know some people, right? And the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions. Because I'm hearing that he can't really do it. Jalen Hurts.
You know, what's interesting on that clip is he is pretty plugged in with that Eagles organization. And I'm assuming, I mean, I don't want to speculate here, and this is all speculations coming out of my mouth here, but it does feel like his source may be somebody in that wide receiver room. His source might be directly from a guy that rhymes with RJ. And last name being the color. I don't know, JB. You tell me, but that clip from LaShawn McCoy is very telling. I mean, because this was a Jalen Hurts stand at one point last year. And he was being lied to. His own lies were lying to him. And, of course, they were able to win the Super Bowl, but that could have been hidden. A lot of falls can be hidden whenever you have almost damn near the perfect roster, and I think that's what happened, and it just got exposed this year. It just got exposed, and that's going to be interesting to see how they handle the offseason because all that money that we've been talking about, how they've been spent. Now, before I go into that thought, which is is all that money worth that Super Bowl last year? Yes, it is, right? Like ultimately, it doesn't matter what happened this year. It doesn't matter what happened last year. Every move that they made, every play that they played, all the gymnastics that they've done with the salary cap, it was all worth it because they ultimately got a Super Bowl out of it. But now to me, my thing is I think Nick Sirianni should be fired along with Kevin Patullo. There's no reason why we have these raw guys. Yesterday, like Borba said, there's this transition of these young head coaches that are starting to come up and push out these old raw guys. And that's what it feels like Nick Sirianni is to me. And maybe I'm wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong here, JB. But it's like, at what point are we going to get tired of just doing the carousel with offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators? Whenever you can just go get the offensive coordinator to be your head coach, because at the end of the day, Nick Sirianni can't just say, he couldn't tell Kevin Patullo, don't stop calling plays. I'm going to do it. There's a reason for that because he can't do it. He can't do anything besides the Jason Garrett hand clapping thing or talk his ish as he's walking out of the tunnel. Yep. I don't know, JB. Maybe you tell me. Should the Philadelphia Eagles move on from Nick Sirianni?
Not right now, but yeah, after next year, if you get the same results, You got to either move on from Jalen Hurts, or you're gonna have to move on from Sirianni. Because you can only bring in, I mean, you said it earlier. These offensive coordinators are having to adjust to Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is not a complete passer. Jalen Hurts is lacking certain things that these other quarterbacks aren't lacking. So eventually, it's going to have to come back on Sirianni. And these types of head coaches are getting. I mean, we already saw two of them let go. Sirianni's on that list. I mean, even Dan Campbell started calling plays this year. So Sirianni, you got to bring more to the table. So if that doesn't change, if you get this next coordinator wrong, if you don't have the success, if you're one and done again next year, then I think Sirianni he will be on the hot seat for sure. I just don't think it's yet. You can't just fire a coach 1 year removed out of a Super Bowl and 2 out of 4 years making it to the Super Bowl. Like, it's just it's not worth the fire. It's just not worth the fire, especially as an NFL. NBA is a little bit different, but NFL, you can't do that. So, give them 1 more year. Let's see what they bring in. Let's see what they do. And if it's the same result, goodbye.
I just wonder if you're an Eagles fan, like you. I don't want to say that you're not excited because you have this roster is insane. But I just wonder, knowing that Nick Sirianni's coming back, how excited are you? Because ultimately, you're just kind of waiting to see what offensive coordinator they get. And then what solid offensive coordinator is available, or who are you going to pluck from what team? What guy is going to make a lateral movement? Or are we just going to go and stick our hand in a hat and then see what name we plug and then throw it in and hope that we have success? How many weeks into the season before the pressure starts to turn up on Nick Sirianni? And then are you going to make a midseason fire and then just elevate your offensive coordinator or your defensive coordinator to begin with? Like that's where I kind of lose it. But as a Cowboys fan, Nick Sirianni, we love it. Stay in Philadelphia, baby. Stay in Philadelphia because we know that he was covered by generational talent. And really, ultimately, that's why he got a Super Bowl, at least in my eyes. That's not a top 5 coach, top 10 coach in my eyes. He was just blessed by the talent that was put in front of him. And then just a couple things went their way, like a snow day with the Los Angeles Rams. Like, damn, man. Here's Santiago, young head coaches who actually call plays are the trend now. And if you're a head coach, and if your head coach calls plays, he can always revert back to that. But if he's just the hype man, it's not working. What now? Exactly, Santi. That's exactly what we're saying. And another guy that's a hype guy and also cosplays is Mr. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson this week has been criticized about the way he handled the win against the Chicago Bears. This is a rivalry that he kind of set up whenever he came over, whenever he had his press conference to kick off the season. Ben Johnson said, I don't like the Green Bay Packers, which I respect. After this game, he said the FUCK to the Packers in the locker room. And as we see here, the handshake of ages just goes up, boom, keeps it moving. I personally love the way he did it, but this has been Johnson's response to the criticism, JB.
Like between you and LaFleur, the 2 wins things, the handshakes, beyond, getting this important playoff win, why is this important to you, or is there something personal beyond that?
This is a rivalry, and city of Chicago, Green Bay, it needs to be a rivalry.
About between you and LaFleur.
What did you think about that, JB?
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. So I agree. I don't think it's not much that you look at into it. I mean, that's the type of dude that Ben Johnson is. Like, he wants to win. He loves all these division games. Like, this is a tough division. All these teams are going to be tough. All these games can be rivalries, and they are like one of the longest standing rivalries, man. And rivalries used to mean something like in the 90s, in the 2000s, and it seems like it's a brotherhood now, the NFL, this and that. But a coach can create an atmosphere like, we don't like these guys, we hate these dudes that we're playing today. Like, that's what I like about it. So bring all that back, bring that energy back. It's good. It's good. You need rivalries, and the Bears Packers have always been a rivalry. That's for 60 something years, over 60, 70 years. So bring that back, and it only helps the game. I believe that only helps the game.
Yeah, I've never been more excited for next year when the Bears and the Packers play. Like, that game is going to either end up on the first time they meet. I wouldn't even be upset if that's the way the NFL kicked off the season next year. I know we normally like to we like to do the whole Super Bowl thing so they can raise their banner. Give me the Bears and Packers next year. I'm looking forward to all the talk heading up to the game, and then I'm going to be looking forward to that handshake after the game, and then the press conference. I might stay up late just to watch a Detroit Lions press conference. Like, man, this is genius. I love it. I love it. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, I mean, if you're, I said Detroit Lions fan, correct me there, JB. I meant the Bears.
Dude,
You know
you're
what I
just
meant
going
there.
off, man. I can't. I have no
Hey,
time.
hey, say, hit me with the good break there, brother. But the Bears, I mean, I'm looking forward to this, man. I think if you're a Bears fan, I mean, obviously you're still hyped. You're in the playoffs, so on and so forth. But, man, the future for this team, bro. I love the ish talk, but now let's see what happens whenever things aren't bouncing your way, because ultimately you got to play 4 quarters, and they've only been playing
A
3.
lot
So
is bounced.
next year, I don't know if the ball is going to be bouncing their way. And when it doesn't, you got to keep the same energy, Ben Johnson. And if he
A
does,
lot.
I will love it even more.
Yeah, a lot of luck has bounced the Bears' way. The Bears, honestly, I believe the Bears are one of the teams that might miss the playoffs next year. I think so. They're one of the teams. Usually, there's about 2 or 3 teams that from the NFC and the AFC that don't make it in. I think the Bears are one of those teams. We're
That's
breathing
fair.
down their neck.
That's a good that's a good early prediction. Like, man, let's let's don't even let these guys lose in the playoffs here. We're already predicting that they're going to miss the playoffs
They
next
get
year.
a nice.
It's a possibility. You're right though, JB, because I mean, every year you see a bunch of games come down to one possession. Last year, Indianapolis Colts, I think majority of their games were one possession games. They won them. Now look at this year. They started off hot though, right? And then out of nowhere they lose their quarterback, flip the script, boom, on their head. But you might be right. That's actually one thing. Let me write that down real quick. Bears miss playoffs. Because
I
I'm
just
gonna
think
pull this up
too
here
much went on their side
quick.
this year, man. All those quarterback injuries, all that they played against, and then those second half comebacks, man. That's just not sustainable. So I think you got the Vikings breathing down their neck. You feel like the Lions are going to get back on track. Packers, I think are stuck in purgatory. Bring back Micah, bring back all these guys. I think they're still stuck that way. And you know, it's I don't agree with them trying to extend LaFleur, but hey, it is what it is. I don't think
Love it.
there's nothing in particular that LaFleur is great at. You look at these other coaches, and they're all great at something. Good offensive minds. Dan Campbell's no like offensive guru, but he can call the plays. He is, he was a tight end, so he's got play calling experience, and he took that into his own matters. I think they just got to get some things right too.
This guy get
Defensively,
healthy. You gotta get
they
healthy.
had a lot of injuries this year, and but I mean, you got Ben Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator guy, the offensive guru. Kevin O'Connell's the offensive guru. What does Matt LaFleur do? Great, I don't know. So end him. I don't care.
All right. Hey, outside of this rivalry that's just kind of been rekindled with the Packers and Bears, is there another one that just comes to your head? There's no other team right now that's just kind of talking ish to each other, huh? Is there?
No, but we're gonna see it we're gonna see it this weekend. 49ers and Seahawks. That whole NFC West, they've created a pretty rivalry type matchups. Like those are rivalry games, and they're all close, and you don't know who's going to win any of them. And especially when all three of them, all those teams are good, it's hard to call a winner. And we've seen that. I mean, all those teams split this year. Nobody 2-0'd anybody. So everything was a split. All those games are rivalry type matchups. So
The Rams and Bears have a little bit of flavor to it, especially with this whole thing that's happening. Obviously, Ben Johnson doing the handshake. Well, Matt LaFleur's little brother, I believe his name is Mike LaFleur, is the offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. So that has a little bit of spice to it. Maybe a little redemption game for little bro from the Rams and Sean McVay and Mike LaFleur. That'll be interesting. That'll be fun, right? I
I think
like
that
it.
game's going to be
Like,
a blowout.
whatever you can add to the storyline, to juice it up. I like it, man. But yeah, JB, please tell me more about this blowout that you're calling already on Wednesday, 1/14/2026, 7:00 a.m. as we flip the script here. A blowout? The Rams are going to go over to Chicago and just put BTA?
Yep, Rams come in. There's nobody that's going to hold Puka and Devontae. I think that run game's going to get going too. So I just think overall they're just a better team.
The
And
luck
it's
has
gotta,
run out in Chicago. That's what
yeah,
you're telling me.
I think
so too.
so. I
It
really
was
think
fun.
so.
I feel so confident. I've never felt more confident about a game in my life. The way I feel about this Rams team heading over to Chicago, I'm going to drop 100 on this game. And to me, in my income, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. I'm going to put $100 on the Rams because I feel so confident. I feel so confident in that game, JB. I feel so confident for the Bears season coming to an end that I think, honestly, we should just have a moment of silence for the successful season that the Chicago Bears have had this entire year. Shout out to Caleb Williams and all those fourth quarter comebacks. Shout out to the Bears being able to stick to it and luck just blessing them. The football gods blessing this team, but it's going to come to an end as the Rams come into town. So, the few people that are joining us this morning, I appreciate you guys rocking with us. But let's have a little moment of silence for a great season for the Chicago Bears. Thank you, Bears. That was fun, JB. That was fun for the Bears and their fans. You guys had a hell of a season.
You guys,
Kudos to y'all.
you outdid your expectations. Just be happy
Good,
with
better,
that.
best. Let's see if we got it down. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till the going gets better and the better gets best. 1, 2, 3. Bears. No, still got it wrong.
Still wrong. It's till the good gets better. Not the going gets good, or not the going gets better, or whatever he said.
My fault, Bear fans. My fault. But the going is going to get better. But according to Borba, no, it's not. You guys will miss the playoffs next year. The good gets better. The good is going to get better.
It's just stuck in your head that way. That's how it's wired.
I've said it wrong so many times as I'm driving in my car as I'm trying to learn it that I think I learned the wrong one.
Yeah, you did.
Like I watched the clip a couple times and I was like, all right, I got it. And then I just never went back to the clip. Whatever's stuck in my head, I'm like, yep, that's the one. That's the one. My bad, BJ. That's my fault.
Wrote it out.
Let's talk about a man that you not only called the MVP, the GOAT of this year, Mr. Josh Allen. He was asked, what if you never win a Super Bowl, Josh Allen? Let's see what his response was to that.
Would you be if you never got a Lombardi?
I mean, I know as a man in my life, I will be great, but in doing what I do and how I've done it for my entire career, putting everything that I have into my job and winning a Super Bowl, it'll always be the great white buffalo, the one that got away, or whatever you want to call it. That'll sit with you for, I guess, your entire life, as long, when you're done playing football. But fortunately, we got opportunities to hopefully right that ship.
How fulfilled would you be?
Ah, man. Just hearing them talk about it kind of tugs at my heart. I think this Buffalo team has my heart as of right now, JB. It feels like I think the world is kind of rooting for Josh Allen to be able to get over that hump and get to the not necessarily win the Super Bowl, but just get there. Just get there. This guy needs to get there this year. I look forward to this weekend for his matchup against the Denver Broncos. But if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, what kind of stain does that put on his career?
It's just like another Dan Marino, somebody that was one of the best quarterbacks that we've ever seen, just not get it done. And that would, man, for Josh Allen not to do that, for me, it's like you can compare like Lamar. Like I don't know if Lamar will ever get a Super Bowl, and I just think Josh Allen is so much above Lamar, especially at this point of their careers. Like, I don't know, man. I can really see it being this year. I can really see it being this year. And if it's not, that's probably he goes down as the best quarterback of all time without a Super Bowl. I would have put him ahead of Dan Marino.
Man, I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope he at least has an appearance, bro. At least an appearance. Come on. Like, before we know it, we're going to be like, if they don't win this year, before we know it, we're gonna be like, man, Josh Allen needs to move on from Buffalo. They're not helping him out. La la la. I can
think they're going
already
to have
hear
to
those
after this
conversations.
year. After this year, they're going to have to help. I think they can make the AFC Championship. I just think it's going to be really, really hard to beat the Texans. And that defense is literally the best defense we've seen since like Broncos in 2015. I really think so. Everybody's like, oh, the Texans, like, I'm telling you, man, like the Texans have a real generational defense. They really do. 2 all-pro
Yeah,
corners,
they,
safeties are
they
balling
only
out.
rush 4. They
Danielle Hunter is
legitimately
a
only
Hall of
rush 4.
Famer. I just want you to know that. Danielle Hunter is 100% a Hall of Famer. He was the youngest player to reach 50 sacks. He's got 115 sacks in his total career. Like this dude, and he does get no respect. No respect. Like out of like Myles Garrett these past 10 years, like Danielle Hunter's second or third right there behind him. Like, who else is that other dominant pass rusher? We see Nick Bosa when he's healthy. We see TJ Watt. I mean, I think he's right up there. He's literally right up there, just doesn't get the respect that these other guys do. And
I think
I don't
I
know.
think I think the reason for that would probably be just because they got Will Anderson right next to him. They got a hell of a duo, which that's not to take away anything from him, but I think they complement each other so well that some teams, I mean, that other people look at like TJ Watt and they're just like they just forget that Cam Hayward's there too, and it's just like, oh, TJ's the only reason that Steelers defense moves, or just even like Micah Parsons with the Cowboys or now with the Green Bay Packers, like that you just think to yourself like everybody is blessed to be around that one person rather than looking at that second option that also creates space for someone like a Micah Parsons to work one-on-one. Santiago, the Texans and the Broncos and the Pats all have great defenses, and defenses wins championships. Yes, that is true. And all we're saying is that the Houston Texans, according to statistics, also are the best defense in the league, and they continue to show us
I don't
over and
think
over and over and over.
here's my thing. I agree with Santiago, but I don't agree that the Texans are a great defense. The Texans are generational. There's a difference between generational and great. Broncos are a great
Yeah,
defense.
with your
I think the
chest.
Patriots have a good, feisty, young, optimistic defense, but I would put them just a little tier below the Broncos. But the Broncos, I would say, are a great defense, fundamentally sound, can get after the rush, can get after the passer, can stop the run. You have that lockdown corner. For me, the Texans are generational. Generational. We have not seen a defense this good that can single-handedly win a game when CJ Stroud couldn't even hold on to a snap. Couldn't even hold on to a snap like 3 times that game. And all CJ Stroud has to do is just protect the ball. Like that, I'm talking about like this defense could potentially beat up there with like Trent Dilfer and the Ravens back in 2000. Like it can almost be that good. I think we have Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on this defense. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Stingley could be a Hall of Famer. Petrie, the way that he plays, insane as a safety. Insane as a safety. He's aggressive. They use him in the nickel. He plays in the box. He can come off the edge. He blows up you can't throw to his side any quick screen passes, anything like that, because it's immediately blown up. And Petrie, he runs through the blocker, the wide receiver, and then still makes the tackle. Like you don't see that out of a lot of safeties. You don't see that out of a lot of guys in the nickel. And the way that they just are so physical defensively, that's what separates them right now, I think, from the rest of the guys. And even their D tackles are good, man. Like everybody's just playing good complementary defense. I think the weakest spot
Yeah,
might be their linebacker, not even Al-Shaziz Jahir, whatever the heck his name is. He's still a baller. Like he can go sideline to sideline. It's the other linebacker, To'o. He fell down on a couple running back pass plays. He fell down on one or two, gave up like 12 yards. But I mean,
that's the
that's
ground in
not
Pittsburgh. I mean,
a
that's
glaring
slippery.
weakness. It's not a glaring weakness. There is no glaring weakness on this defense. There's no weakness at all in this defense, really. There's maybe things that you
No.
can take advantage of, but they disguise their coverage really good. They run a lot of like cover 2 or cover 4 that is a cover 6. They know how to roll over their coverages. They can disguise things. And Aaron Rodgers was trying to take advantage of it, but Aaron Rodgers had no time to even throw a deep ball.
No time.
No
Rushing
time to
only
even
4.
throw a deep ball. Oh, but the thing is, The thing I will say
JB.
this.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
will
Go ahead.
say
Go
this
ahead.
before. I will say this. The Patriots can potentially match up very well against the Texans because what did you get this past offseason? You got a first-round left tackle in Will Campbell. You got another speedster, Kyle Williams, that runs like a 4.3, something like that. A speedster that can blow the top off of a defense. And then you have Diggs, you have the possession guys. And then you got a running game that's coming on late. So that's how you can potentially match up. Protect the quarterback, allow him to get a couple deep shots off, maybe get some pass interference, maybe you get a deep ball completion, things like that. Like that's the best way to combat a great defense. You just got to be able to contain it. Don't let them get chaotic in your backfield, in your space. So we'll see how that holds up. Reckless speculation. I mean, we see what the Chargers did to Drake May this past weekend. I mean, you only put up 16 points against a pretty good defense, but this is a whole nother level.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that level of concern also on the other side of the ball with the Texans offensive line, because, I mean, C.J. Stroud was also getting pressure to him, but he was also going against T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward. But the Texans defense, during their 9-game win streak to close the season, they increased their man coverage usage to 31.8%, 10th highest in the league, after using man on 17.4% of opponent dropback, fourth lowest in the first 9 weeks. The Texans allowed 3.4 yards per carry and a 16.9% first down conversion rate on design runs between the tackles this season, both the lowest marks in the NFL. They allowed just 0.4 yards before contact, fewest on called inside runs, making contact before the line of scrimmage on 44.7%. That would be the fourth highest in the NFL. Man, bro, this is crazy. And you saw it in that game against the Steelers. It was like, damn, these boys are getting touched in the backfield instantly by not only by the D line. The safeties come up, put pressure. I mean, they send a little cornerback blitz, and everything just seems to be hitting. I don't know if we're getting lost in the sauce or if it's legit, but I like to think that it's legit. I'm on your side here, saying that this team is a generational talent. What a hell of a. Hey, I got to clip that one, JB. That's a good way to put it there. They're not great. They're generational, and the other defenses are great, and that's not taking away anything. But what we're witnessing right now from this Houston Texans team, we may look back come February and be like, "Damn, we knew all along. We knew since about week 10 what this defense was capable of, and all we were looking for was for Trent Diffler. That's all right. That's all we're looking for from C.J. Stroud. We're a little bit of Trent. Just allow your defense to put a beautiful ring on that finger there, right? That's what we're looking for. Man, shout out to the Texans, but." That man. So I know that we said like we were concerned about them trading Lerman Tunsil. They went out and drafted a left tackle. It still feels like he's trying to get comfortable. He's not fully there yet, but this offensive line for the Houston Texans might cost them this run, and it's going to be unfortunate. We're going to need something heroic from C.J. Stroud, whether that's just one quarter or one drive, but that's what it's going to come down to this weekend against the New England Patriots. Because Drake, what'd you think about the New England Patriots against the Chargers? Were you impressed? Did it add more questions to what you thought of them, or what was your thought process?
Drake he played good. He made the throws that, eventually in the fourth quarter, he was getting some of those deep balls. Hunter Henry, that corner route. I think, man, I don't know, man. It seemed like Drake May was having a hard time most of the game to sustain drives, got a lot of field goals, and you pull away at the very end. That's what it was. And Chargers, like I said, the Chargers had their opportunities to make that a game. They just had to put something together. They had to put a drive together, 2 drives together the entire game, and they just could not do that. So I think if you have a little bit, I wasn't like blown away by Drake May. I wasn't blown away by how the offense looked. So that's my concern too. I think, and that's what you're going to get. I think the rest of the playoffs, you're going to get all these. This is why it's such a huge advantage for the Texans right now, man. They could single-handedly win the rest of these playoff games by just playing great defense and just C.J. Stroud literally not turning the ball over. Literally just don't turn the ball over. If you don't got nothing, throw it away. It's fourth down, punt it, pin the team back in their own 10-yard line, and watch the defense go after them. And then you will eventually win the field position battle. Like, that's literally how good this defense is, I feel like. So, that's why I think this whole the rest of the bracket, the AFC side of the field, it plays into the Texans' advantage. So I wasn't blown away by Drake May. I was not. And that solidifies, I think, the MVP right there. Stafford. Stafford had his way. He had a little bit of trouble in the third quarter, but I think when it came down to it, he willed his team to win. And I think that game was one of the games that were not called that great by McVay. That was one of his lesser performances as a play caller. But I think he gets back on track with that. I don't think you play with your food anymore after that wild card win. So Stafford's my MVP. Drake May struggled, and I think he's going to struggle again for sure this next week. So
You know what sucks? You know what sucks about these awards, JB, is that they're regular season awards. Sometimes I know when I'm watching like basketball, I'm always like, damn, like you wish that they wouldn't call these things until until the playoffs, because playoffs matter. They're part of the season, and we've seen too many times where like two teams will go up against each other when they're the two players that are up for like the MVP odds or offensive player, defensive player of the year, and in this case, like coach of the year, right? As of right now, like when the season was ending, I was trying to defend Liam Cohen. That's who I thought the coach of the year was going to be. And I thought that the end of the season came down to Kyle Shanahan losing that game to Seattle. But after seeing what he did against Philadelphia, it's hard not to go, damn, Kyle Shanahan should win coach of the year. But then you think and you're like, this is a regular season award. And honestly, the way that Jacksonville finished the season, like it's hard to not think that Liam Cohen is going to win Coach of the Year. But ultimately, I mean, damn, what Shanahan's been able to do, like it's insane with that San Francisco team with all those injuries and still being able to overcome. And now they see themselves in a divisional round game that's very winnable. JB.
Yep.
But Drake May, let me read you this. Drake May became the first player in Patriots franchise history to record 250 passing yards and 50 plus rushing yards in a playoff game during his postseason debut in the wild card win against the Chargers. May joined an exclusive group of young quarterbacks to achieve this dual threat milestone in the playoffs before turning 24 years old alongside, guess who? Not a bad group to be with here. It's Lamar Jackson when he did it with the Ravens in 2019. Josh Allen, also 2019. And do you remember this guy?
Yep.
This is
Dante.
Dante Culpepper. Yep, back in 2000 for the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, Dante Culpepper was a dog, huh?
Yeah. Too bad his freaking
what?
leg ruptured.
Yeah, well, just kind of looking back, like what? Do tell about Dante Culpepper. Do you remember watching Duke? Because obviously you
Oh
were
yeah.
young. You were like 10
I mean,
years old
Dante
or something.
Culpepper was a gunslinger, man, and he was just mobile enough. Gunslinger had probably the strongest arm in the league, man. It was just a match made in heaven between him and Moss on that deep ball. And you kind of forget the season Peyton Manning won MVP when he had like 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The runner up was Dante Culpepper, who had like I think 39, 40 touchdowns. So he had an MVP type season, when he was right there in his prime. And it sucks that he went out the way that he did. He just never could recover after that torn ACL and all that stuff. So it kind of sucks. That was like the only like real franchise quarterback we've like ever had besides like Fran Tarkington, which is like in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah. Don't know that. That name just went straight over my head.
Hall of
But damn,
Famer.
man, yeah, Dante Culpepper was cool. I do remember him. We remember the celebration, but man, him and Randy Moss were something to watch. Some of the whenever I look back, I'm like, damn, man, there was a lot of cool people to watch. Like I remember watching, like this is kind of random too, but Jeff Garcia and Terrell Owens, that 49ers team, that was fun. They were a cool team to watch there. Donovan McNabb when Terrell Owens went to Philadelphia. I remember I was heavy on T.O. Love T.O. in San Francisco. When he went to Philadelphia, I was still too young to like really embrace the rivalry that was the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And also when I was younger, uh, I was getting molded as a Cowboys fan by my family. And then every now and then I would go hang out with a couple of my uncles who were 49er fans, and then a couple of my cousins who were Eagles fans, and they'd just be having so much fun, and I was over here like just sad little boy going back home, and they'd be like, "Oh, next year we're gonna get this next year." But I do remember T.O. going to Philadelphia. Obviously, they made that Super Bowl run, but man, him and McNabb. And what's crazy is whenever they made that Super Bowl run, Terrell Owens broke his leg. He had a broken leg, just casted it up or put like some type of brace on it, and then still went out and had 100+ yards in that Super Bowl against the Patriots. Gave themselves a chance to win before ultimately he came over to the Dallas Cowboys, and I bought that jersey. I need to pull that jersey out. It's in my storage unit. It's pretty worn out, bro. It's faded to the gillies. I wore the crap out of that. T.O. was get your popcorn ready, right? What a dog, Terrell Owens. And then now, hey, I haven't tried his wine. I think I should definitely try his wine since I was a Terrell Owens stan. So maybe we pop a little T.O. Wine for the Super Bowl. You got Super Bowl plans yet?
No Super Bowl plans. No. We're gonna do a show.
Our Super Bowl show. Our Super Bowl show is gonna be. It might be the best one of the year. Best one of the year. Put it on your schedule. An SOL Super Bowl show with the special guest singing the national anthem. In the home of the. It's not gonna be me, but we do have a special guest that will be kicking off the show with the beautiful national anthem song for us. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. That's a little bit of breaking news. Just throwing a little nugget out there. So I am looking forward to our Super Bowl show. JB, I know yesterday you said you wanted to rank these teams. Do you want to rank them from 1 to 8 or from 8 to 1? How do we want to rank these teams?
Let's do 8 to 1.
8 to 1. All right, let's go. Let's share. So we're going to rank these teams to end the show. This would be our SOL Power Rankings. As we end the show, we have 10 minutes here before we send you beautiful people off to work. But, JB, just looking at this schedule, the one game that pops out to you that you're telling me is a blowout is the Rams versus the Bears. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think.
Or do you think there's is there any other game here that you see a blowout outside of that one?
Honestly, no. Maybe the Texans can pull away, but I think it's still going to be maybe a one-score game.
It's going to be late. Okay, let me just take a guess at your number 8. Your worst team here in the playoffs. Let me take a wild guess. Chicago Bears.
That's what I was thinking at number 8. I was thinking between them or the 49ers. But for me, I from what I've been saying about the Bears all year, let's put the Bears at 8. I think they've had a lot of comebacks against lesser opponents. I think they've had a lot of comebacks where a lot of things went on their side. The comeback against the Packers, you could say. You could have your opinion on that, but I just don't think what they're doing right now is sustaining winning football. So, they're making the plays that they needed to make and this and that, and they came back against lesser teams. But I think ultimately they've had a lot of things go their way. I mean, that Caleb Williams throw, you could arguably say that he was throwing it up just in the area, and Rome Odunze just had to be there. And that was a 4th down play. Like if Packers get that stop, they most likely win the game. So for me, it's just too much fluke for the Bears. So I'm going to put them at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to put the 49ers. And the only reason I have them so low is because their injuries. I think the injuries eventually catch up, but their coaching has been great. They're going to come in with a good plan against the Seahawks. It's going to be a tough game. So I just think eventually the injuries are going to come back. So for me, 49ers being the most injured team in the league, I would put them at number 7. Number 6, I have the Denver Broncos.
Wait, so you're not giving the Niners a chance at all this weekend?
I'm giving them a chance. I am giving the 49ers a chance. It's just the way that I'm ranking it. Because they are hurt. They're the most hurt team in the league. And I think that's all I'm saying is that I think it's going to come back, and eventually it's going to bite them. It's going to catch up to them when you play a healthy team. And the Seahawks are very healthy. The Seahawks are like arguably the most healthy team left in the playoffs. And so can they win this game? Yeah, they can. If Sam Darnold lays an egg and they can get some sort of offense like how they got at the end of last game, they can win this game. But I will put them as the 7th best team remaining. And then 6th, I have the Denver Broncos. For me, it's for me, it's yes, it's good defense, but the question mark is going to be Bo Nix, and I would take almost all these quarterbacks over Bo Nix right now. Bo Nix, I think, is the worst quarterback left in the field. So for me, unless Bo Nix can prove me wrong and just play an amazing game against the Bills and literally carry his team to win, but he's going to have a lot of help on that defensive side. And if this is going back and forth, and the way that the Bills are playing defense, which is very optimistic, it's very takeaway heavy right now, I can see them getting the final takeaway on Bo Nix and the Bills winning this game. So for me, it's Broncos. Yes, because of Bo Nix.
Okay.
Number 5, I will put
a little rage bait right there.
I'm going to put the Patriots at number 5. Patriots at number 5, just based on what I saw from Drake May. That offense did have a tough time last week against the Chargers defense, and they're just going to be going up against a tougher defense this week. So we got to see a little bit more out of Drake May. I don't know if I'm sold on Drake May as far as, willing his team to win. When it comes down to it, can he put a final drive together? Can he carry this team throughout the entire game? Can he put 4 quarters together? So for me, it's the Patriots, number 5. Number 4, I think
this is when it starts to get a little tough. Little tough. Because part of you is like, I want to put the Texans because their offense, right? Their offensive line scares me a little bit. I can see it. I can see you want to put go.
For me at number 4, the Texans are right there, but I'm going to put the Rams at number 4. And the reason why I'm putting the Rams at number 4 is because their defense has been one of the worst in the league since like week 11,
6 weeks. Yeah.
So if they can get some if they can contain Caleb Williams and not allow him to extend the plays like crazy, like he's been doing all playoffs, like he's been doing on his comebacks, if they could just eliminate that part of the game and turn Caleb Williams into like a pocket passer the entire game, that's the probably best chance to win. But for me, it's like just because they're so dependent on Matthew Stafford these last 2 months of the season, they've been very dependent on Stafford. If Stafford don't play a perfect game, these other teams like Carolina Panthers are in the game. So, I say, Rams, I'm looking for a blowout, but Matthew Stafford's got to play good. He's going to be the reason for that blowout. He's got to be the reason for that blowout. So I'm going to put the Rams at 4. Number 3, I'm going to put the Texans. And the reason why the Texans are so high is because that defense. And I just need clean play out of CJ Stroud. The running game was gashing the Steelers. And I mean, if they could get the running game going, make CJ Stroud's life even that much more easier, then they have a real shot. And I right now in the playoff pool, they can make the Super Bowl. For sure, they can make the Super Bowl. 100%, I believe that. It's just a lot of it. Some of it, I'm going to say even some of it, just some of it, not a lot of it. Some of it is just going to depend on CJ Stroud. Play clean. We need you in big moments and just put up some points when they're needed. So it's not too much pressure on CJ Stroud. He's just got to play clean. Number 2, the Josh Allen generational run in the Buffalo Bills. Number 2. So we saw last week, I thought the Jaguars were going to win. But if Josh Allen can go blow for blow and respond when Broncos score, if he did it, the same way that the Jaguars scored, he responded over and over again, made big play after big play. If he could do that with the Broncos, I think they got a good chance too. Like I said, if it's not this year for Josh, when is it? So I got a lot of faith in the Bills right now, and I'm riding high on Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's going to make an AFC Championship appearance. He's going to have that opportunity right in front of him. What is he going to do with it? He's going to have to go up against a freaking powerhouse of a defense. In my prediction, a powerhouse of a defense. And then, of course, number one, Seahawks. I just think they're the most complete team. Sam Darnold, just don't lay an egg. That's all I ask. Just play decent football. You got the running game. You got the defense, a smothering defense that is favored to win whatever matchup they're in the AFC side and the NFC side. So I like what the Seahawks are doing. I like their defense. Their defense, I would say, is the second best defense left in the playoff pool. And I would love to see a Seahawks Texans Super Bowl. I'd love to see a Seahawks Bills Super Bowl. And I think they can get it done. I think 100% they can get it done. Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, they got to get it together and get on the same page like how they were in the first half of the season. If they could do that, these last 3 games, they have a great chance.
Hell yeah. What a list, JP. This is SOL's playoff power rankings. We have the Bears at number 8. At number 7, 49ers, 6, Broncos. Because of Bo Nix, that's not me. That's what JB said. The Patriots at number 5. The Rams at number 4. The Texans at 3. The Bills with the Josh Allen generational run at 2. And then the Seattle Seahawks. If Sam Darnold can just not lay an egg, if he can just show us a little level of consistency, this Seahawks team can go to the Super Bowl. Not only just be there and participate, but win it. I appreciate you guys rocking with us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow to make our NFL picks for the weekend. Which way are we leaning? A little left, a little right, or right down the middle? Tomorrow we'll have a special guest. We'll have one hell of a football mind joining us to also make our picks with us. So shout out to him. I don't want to throw the name out just yet, but you'll see in the thumbnail as we schedule it later on this evening. Thank you guys again. Remember, don't forget to use the phone line. It's 575-808-9307. Give us a little like, a share, and possibly a subscribe. I appreciate you guys rocking with this team. Let's have a day. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.